On to our discussion. Okay, so when you got done doing that, uh, things look differently to you. Okay, if they did, that's good. That means you really took in what I told you, and it worked for you. Okay, if it doesn't, just like I said, keep working on it. Don't give up, please. Don't ever give up on yourself. I will reiterate that millions of times. So I don't ever want you to give up. Ever. Please. Don't ever do that. Okay? I will be disappointed. And I know you don't care if I'm disappointed, but you should be disappointed in yourself if you do. Alright, I'm walking around because I'm a little tense, a little stiff. So I'm going to move around and talk to you guys. So if you see the background, you're going to see stuff moving, and it's okay. I mean, take in this view. I'm at a cemetery. I'm in a parking lot. You can do this stuff anywhere. So, I mean, it's real easy. It's real, I mean, people don't bug me. So, I mean, just don't get in trouble. Don't go anywhere you're not supposed to go, of course. But, with this discussion, I want to talk to you about 3 things, okay? The first step is, was you able to get it? Okay, if you was, good. I really, that means I'm doing good. That means what I'm doing is working for you. And that's what I want. Okay, sorry. Let me put this up a little bit further. But yeah, that means it's working. Okay, so have you ever like had a spiritual awakening? If you have, good. Spiritual awakenings are signs that meditation's working, and even if you have them without meditation, the thing is with spiritual awakening, okay? All right, I did not see like true spirits and like auras and all that stuff until I had my spiritual awakening. Okay, and I'm not talking about religion. Okay, if you're religious, that's fine. Me personally, I am Scottish. I do have a Celtic cross on my chest. If you ever see it in my videos, I am a believer in God. I believe God is more feminine than male, of course, because the feminine body is the essence of life, the nurturing kind. You know, God was more nurturing than anything. So I believe God was more female. And if you think about, like, I know this kind of sounds contradicting, but they talk bad about Satan. Like, you know how sometimes women talk bad about men? But I don't truly think Satan was a bad person. I think Satan was more of a knowledge-based person, and he tried to give us knowledge. So women did not want us to be ignorant. I'm not saying that, okay? And if you are transgender, or if you're in that field, or you're part of that crowd, I apologize if that offends you, okay? That is not my intention. That's not my goal, okay? I got a niece that's transgender. I don't completely understand it. And if you guys can comment on this too, so I can understand better, because she's younger and I don't really talk to her that much. But she sees herself as a male that likes males. And to me, that's like, I feel like her friends judge her, so she feels that way. But she may truly believe that that's how she is. So, you know, your spiritual body is different from what you physically are. You know, and a lot of people from the transgender world will tell you that if they was female, they was male, even though they was female. Their spiritual body was male, so they identify with that. Or with males that go feminine, you know, or I want to be proper. I don't want to offend nobody, of course. That's not my goal. So if I do, please comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Please don't judge me. I won't judge you ever, okay? So please don't judge me. I'm going to stick it out with you. If you hate me, I'll apologize. I don't have a problem with that, okay? If I do something wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. And even if you feel it's wrong, and even if it's not, I will still apologize because I hurt you. It's not about me, it's about you and how you feel. Okay, so back into that discussion. My spiritual body, I identify with the angel Uriel. It's more like Uriel or Uriel, you know, you can pronounce it how you want. Like my sister, she identifies with Raphael. You know, it's just how you, in the Arabic language, because that's where your angelic names came from. It's the Arabic language. A lot of people don't know that. That's a discussion for another time. I'm not going to get into that because that's more politic-based stuff. You know, if you believe in the Quran, if you believe in Christianity, if you believe in Catholicism, I mean, if you're Methodist, whatever you believe, you know what you believe. So let's get more into the discussion. Okay, so what was I at? I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, but I identify with Uriel, and the way it's translating into language, and the way from the research that I did, Uriel is the enlightened one. Okay, his wings actually protects all the other angels from God's light. Okay, his wings protects all the other angels. He has 6 wings. 2 of them goes up, 2 of them to the side, 2 of them down, and this protects the other angels from the light. And also, whenever you pass away, if this is what you believe, when you go to heaven, they say in some texts that you can't directly talk to God, because if you hear him, you'll explode, your soul or spirit will burst. If I'm incorrect about that, you can correct me. But this is from the research that I've done. Now, his light, or her light, if you believe he's male, that's your thing. I believe feminine. But her light is so bright and blinding, like a sun, like a star, like the brightest, most beautiful star you see in the sky. It is so hot and energetic that it will burn your soul to a crisp. And it'll burn you out of existence, out of the reincarnation field, out of the life and death cycle. Okay? So, Uriel protects you from that. Okay? So, that's who I identify with. The enlightened one. The one that protects others. I protect others. That's my thing. I've always been a protector. I serve my country. I am a firm believer in a man protecting his family and working for his family and doing whatever he can for his family. Now, women, you can do it too. I mean, it's the 21st century. Sorry. 21st century. Nowadays, women are tougher than men, and men are like getting real soft. And I'm not judging you if you are transgender or if you're just a soft guy, because soft-spoken guys are cool. I have friends that are homosexual, and I have family and friends that are transgender. Okay? Perfect example. I shouldn't really say his name. I'm going to say his new name, okay? Because he doesn't identify as male no more. He identifies as female. He got the operation. He's no longer male. And I respect him. Sorry. I respect her. Her name is Naomi now. Okay? So, Naomi started out male. Made it to, I think, 28 or 30. And got her operation. Now she's female. And I will tell you this. I'm not homosexual. But Naomi is more beautiful than most girls I've seen. Sorry. My sexuality's secured. So I don't care if you feel like some type of way about what I just said. I don't care. And if that offends you, I'm going to apologize right now. But I don't care. Don't judge me. I won't judge you ever. So, Naomi got her transition. It took a while. Her parents did not accept her. Basically disowned her because of this. This girl can fight better than most men I know. She will kick you right in your face and knock you the hell out. So, do not mess with transgenders thinking they're soft, because they're not. They're people. And they are usually tough because they have to deal with a lot of BS. Let's say BS. I'm going to try not to cuss too much. But yeah. She's really nice, really respectful. She never ever made a pass on me. Never offended me in any kind of way. Never ever once got out of line with me. And I never once got out of line with her. She used to cut my hair. I cut my hair now. You see I do a good job. I fade it myself. It does take practice. Work on it if you do it yourself. But yeah. She used to cut my hair. But now, Naomi got her transition. She's now a fully woman. She's got everything, her whole package. She was cross-dressing at first, and then she started doing the feminine thing, making sure she was clean cut, long hair. And then her estrogen stuff was going on. And then she got her transition. Okay? And now, when I say transition, that's the operation. Okay? So that's what I mean by that, if you don't understand what I'm saying. She got her transition. She's living a good life. She's got a husband. Okay? Got a nice place. I stop by and see her every now and then when I can, or if I run into her. You know, and people pick on her all the time, and I'm ready to fight for her, even though she don't need me to fight for her. She can beat anybody's butt by herself. Just put it like that. But yeah, so on to the next discussion. Eventually, the more we do this, I am losing my voice. I apologize, and I do smoke. It's bad. Don't do it if you're a kid. And if you're an adult, try to quit. I gotta quit one thing at a time. So cigarettes, I haven't given up yet. Please don't judge me. Let me light this real quick. All right, there we go. So, as we go through these steps and the videos get longer and you get better and you do it more, you will start to see stuff, okay? Things that you've never seen before. Like when you see a tree, you will see like veins going through it. You'll see water moving through it. You'll see its aura. You will also be able to see other people's auras, okay? Now, try not to stare at people, because people, you don't know what they've been through. You don't know how they feel about themselves. And that's important. You should always think about how you would want to be treated when you think of others, okay? So, when you're doing this, try not to stare at people, because it can be strange at first. It can be really awkward to you, not to them, okay? And they don't understand what you're seeing. Like, I know what I see. A scientist can get on here and tell me that I'm crazy, that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing, but I know what I see. And you know what you see. So if somebody tries to tell you you're crazy or this ain't working for you, and they try to say that I'm BSing you, they're lying. I don't care what they say. You could talk to anybody on my channel. You could talk to anybody on other people's channels that do these things, and they will tell you the same thing. Now, when you have your spiritual awakening, it's an enlightenment, okay? You will see things. Not necessarily the spirits and the ghosts that I see, but you will see the auras. You will see people's light energy. Some of it's purple, some of it's gold, some of it's white, some of it's black. You know, you'll see malevolent figures sometimes in your house. You will see, if you had dead relatives. My dad passed away, my sister passed away, my brother passed away, my best friend passed away. I've had a lot of loss. And after they passed away, for the first few months before they crossed over, I seen them and communicated with them in my own way, okay? I cannot hear what spirits say when I'm awake, but when I sleep, that's how I talk to them, okay? So I'm empathetic. I can see, but I can't hear unless I'm asleep. That's how I have my communications with my dead relatives, okay? But when you get into this and you start seeing these things, you'll be able to help your dead relatives that can't cross over. My sister died of an overdose, 2017, okay? And in the beginning, she couldn't cross over. She was scared. She looked miserable. She looked kind of evil to me. And I know that sounds bad. It was my sister. I love her. I still do. Miss her very much. It hurts me that she left me so early. We was really close, okay? I take care of her kids with my mom. My two nephews, Keith and JJ, they're on my page. You know, they do the haunted thing with me. But yes, I seen her. Now, I've seen my brother, my dad, and everybody too, but she looked the worst when I seen her, and it scared me the first time I seen her, okay? And I had a conversation with her. Now, I couldn't hear her back, but I could talk to her, okay? So she can hear you. Sometimes spirits can't communicate because it takes a lot of energy for them to vocalize their thoughts to you. So the way it'll work is you won't hear them necessarily, but you will have this image in your mind, like when you see your angel and you have these epiphanies is what they're called. I mean, you know what that is, right? It's an epiphany. It's an ideal. It'll pop up in your head and you're like, why am I thinking like that? Or how do I know certain things that other people don't know? That is because you are being communicated with by entities, spirits, and different types of things, and they're communicating their thoughts with you telepathically, okay? And it'll come up as an idea or as an image or as a picture in your mind, or you will start to feel a certain kind of way. See, I'm empathetic too, so when I'm around people that are sad, I feel sad. I know when people are mad, even if they try not to show it. I know a lot of things, you know, and it could feel like I'm seeing into your soul. And that's what it's like. I'm seeing into their soul. They cannot hide who they are, what they've been through, and they cannot hide what I see for me. Now, it could seem like I'm intruding, but I'm not. I do not judge people, and I do not intrude on their feelings, but I do try to help people all the time. So I use this power to help people that need help. And the people that think they don't need help, I try to help too. And then I try to communicate with everybody. I took psychology, so I do know a little bit about psychology too. So that helped with my awakening. Okay, so when you communicate your thoughts with the spirit and they communicate their thoughts with you, it'll be strange at first. It'll be scary. You'll be afraid. You'll have nightmares, or you'll think it's a nightmare, but it's really not. It's just a communicating thought to you, like a premonition. Okay, so just try not to be afraid. Spirits cannot hurt you, okay? I don't care what anybody says. They cannot physically hurt you by just touching you as a spirit, okay? They can throw objects, they can do things like that, but they cannot physically hurt the physical third plane body with their spirit self. It does not work like that, okay? And most of the time, it's the energy that they let off that actually does the damage. And even though it's not hurting your physical body, it's hurting your spiritual body. So that is why that you see people when they get possessed or they get drugged or like doors slam, it's because the energy that they let off is causing the damage. And sometimes they don't mean to do it. They're afraid. So these things can happen. And if they do happen to you, comment and I can guide you through that too. So if I get 1 million views, 1 million subscribers, there's no way I can get back with everybody, but I will try my best, okay? I'm going to keep doing this until either people tell me I'm not working for them no more, and I'm still going to do it, because I'm never going to give up on anything I do. Not anymore. I'm 33 now, and I felt like a failure for the last 8 years. It took a lot, okay, for me to get where I'm at now. And I still struggle every day with addiction. I still struggle with wanting to go out and use. I still struggle with being alone. I struggle with feeling depressed. Anxiety, PTSD. I have PTSD really bad. Okay? I cannot be in a large crowd of people. I cannot go to a store when it's crowded. I don't like people to be around me, like too close, like within like 6 feet of me. I feel anxious. I feel terrified on the inside, and that is because of my PTSD, okay? As a veteran, if you're a veteran or recovering addict, most of the times you start using because of the trauma that you've been through, okay? So if you're codependent, you know, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm getting, where I'm going with this. So what you need to do is work on your meditation, and it'll help you through all that, okay? And find God in your own way. If it takes religion, do religion. If it takes meditating, do meditations. If it takes going to church, if it takes whatever it takes, just do what you need to do to get yourself together and to get yourself good, okay? It will also help with your spiritual awakening. So please don't give up on yourself and just stick with this. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself because I haven't really told anybody about myself on my page yet. Now, I know this video is a little long, and if you're with me still, thanks for watching this far. I really appreciate it, and I hope, you know, you guys really like these videos and love them, and please like and subscribe. Help circulate me, get me out there, okay? So I can help other people, not just you. Help me, help you, help other people. And just word of mouth is the best way to get somebody known. So like friends and family have supported me But I have not gotten many strangers that subscribe to my page yet. Okay? I'm not worried about subscribers. I just want to help people. If you just watch my videos, that's cool too. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to beg you to subscribe to me. And I'm not going to pressure you. I will keep dropping videos every day. Every day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 videos a day. Until I get people to the level that they want to be at. Okay? So, I'm going to keep working on me and my videos and you. Okay? So, let's get into another discussion. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. With me, okay, by the time I was 14, let me start from the beginning. 4 years old, I had been molested by a family member. I'm not going to get into who did it, but it doesn't matter, okay? And if it matters to you because you relate to that, we can have a private discussion. This isn't something that I want out there, and I don't mind talking about it. But this is not something that you directly bring to the light, because it can hurt your image, it can hurt yourself, the way you feel about yourself. You know, it can hurt the person because they may have not even understood what they did was wrong. I mean, I know that sounds bad. Like, I'm not saying a rapist is right at all, because they're not. They're not right. They are completely wrong. And you are never wrong if you're a victim. Do not be afraid to seek help and to tell your story. If you need the cops, if you need somebody to do it with you, get your best friend, get your mom, person you trust the most, and you confide to them. Okay? You confide to them because, see, if you got that one person you trust and you got that best friend for life, your goals are met. But if you got 20 friends like that, 30 friends, you're doing good, because I got one friend that I can confide in now, that I trust, and implicitly I trust him, and I trust his wife, and my family. I love them. Okay, so talk to somebody. Talking helps you heal. Okay, it helped me. It helped me get to where I'm at now, at least where I'm at now. Okay. I do have slip-ups. I'm going to try not to have slip-ups, but I do have slip-ups just on certain things. I'm not even going to bring it up what I have slip-ups on, but I do slip up. Okay, you will too. It's not the end of the world, and it's not the end of life. Just please remember that, okay? You can bounce back. Just don't give up on yourself. If you do, that's when you fail. That's when you failed yourself, maybe your child, and maybe your family. Maybe your old man or your old lady. That's when you failed. Talk to them, because, see, they don't understand what you're going through. If they have not been through it, they don't understand. Now, you have to communicate with them. Don't try to make them understand. Just communicate the best way you can and tell them to listen. Tell them not to talk, just listen. Eventually, they will learn, and they will begin to understand what you're talking about. Okay? And you will notice when you tell people these things, they will, like me, I'm empathetic. So when I'm around people that's been hurt, I cry. I'm a grown man and I still cry. And it's good for you. Okay, so cry. Laugh. Do all these things. It's real tough. Okay? I'm sorry. It's real tough. Okay? So just remember, you're not alone. Because this one, it gets deep. Okay? So please just remember. Sorry. Just remember, you're not alone. Please. And you have people. And if not, you have me. So just remember that. And try to work through it. Just do the best you can. But let's get off that subject, because I get real emotional when I talk about that. It's hard. It's hard to talk about that. It really is. And I'm trying to laugh right now because I'm sad thinking about it. But let's get off that subject. All right, so 4 years old, I was smoking weed. All right, get older. And on top of that, hey, doing a video.
What's up?
Just doing a video.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing YouTube.
Okay. Did you ever ask them if you could be here?
They usually don't care. Did they call or something, or did you just pull up and see me?
I just saw you, and the thing
Hold on one second, guys. So, nice officer just stopped me. I am at the graveyard after hours. So, he just politely told me to ask to be here after hours or before hours. So don't go anywhere that you might get in trouble. He was real gentleman. He was a gentleman. He was real nice. He told me just finish up, get out of here, ask him. Honked at me, waved at me. Pretty cool. So guys, just we're back. But yeah, back to the discussion. When I was 4, I started smoking weed. All right, all the way up until I was, let's say, 16. I dropped out of high school. I got my GED, 17. Joined the military at 18. By 22, I was out. I did get hurt. I was 82nd Airborne Division. 3rd of the 319th, 82nd Airborne Division, 1st Brigade. Still remember my sergeant major. He knew his shit, and this guy was tough. Some people thought he was a punk, but I respected him. And I really enjoyed the knowledge that he gave me. And I didn't then, but I do now, because he used to make us cut grass with scissors. Yes, he used to make us cut grass with scissors, and that's what sergeant majors do. They are the cleanup crew, okay? And they are the boss hog when it comes to enlisted soldiers, all right? Your officers, with the sergeant major, you'll have a captain under the sergeant major and under the colonel or the lieutenant colonel, okay? So you got a battery commander, you got a battalion commander, you got a brigade commander, and then you got the whole division commander, okay? So usually how the rank structure works for officers is your battery commander will be a captain. Your battalion commander will be lieutenant colonel, okay? And then it goes up to the brigade, which can be anywhere from full bird colonel to a 1-star to a 2-star. Usually it's a 2-star. And then your divisional commander is usually a 3-star to a 4-star general. And then you got the chief of staff, and they go up to the 4-star and the 5-star general. Okay, so our commander was a lieutenant colonel. He got promoted to full bird, I believe, after he left us and went on. But yeah, the full bird colonel and the colonel does not mess with enlisted soldiers. He does not mess with his officers, okay? This guy is in charge of directly controlling what we do. So like when there's an operation, he has to plan all this out with the officers, because the officers are brilliant people, okay? And the reason why the officers go to college, you have to have a 4-year degree, okay? So when you go to college, you become an officer, they have to make sure you're educated, they have to make sure you're smart, okay? So you can't lead people if you're dumb and ignorant. So yeah, so make sure if you're in the military that you respect your commander, because I got in trouble. I did some things I wasn't supposed to do, and I had to go in front of the commander, and it is embarrassing, and he is the man, so you don't want to mess with that guy. Okay, sergeant major will mess you up, but he will mess you up. He will take your money, he will take your life, and he will kick you out if he needs to. So remember that. But yeah, I have swept in sandstorms. I've run around in my gas mask playing football. I got to do all that in the Army. Got to jump out of planes, parachute in, drop in. I had a bad jump once. Pretty much broke half of my body. Try to be tough. If you're in the Army, don't be tough. Go see your medics. That's their job. Make sure they do their fucking job. Okay? Sorry about the cuss word. But make sure they do their job. Go see the medics. Okay? Go see your captain, which would be pretty much the doctor. Go see him. Make sure you get all your stuff documented, because when you're going for your disability, if you don't have no documentation, it makes it that much harder to get your disability. I got lucky. I got 100% right off rip. Took me 6 months. My buddy, same stuff's wrong with him that I got wrong with me. He's got 30%. And now he can't get an upgrade because he got screwed. So just remember that. Because he didn't document nothing. He doesn't know how to explain things like I do. Okay? So, I get out the military. I hook up with my sister's best friend. Loved her to death. I still love her, even though we're not together no more. She has a kid with another man. She's married. She's got her own thing going on. I'm happy she's happy. So that's good. But I did get depressed. I felt that she should have stuck with me through the hard parts, because when I was making a lot of money, she was with me. And it seemed like after all that went away, she left me. Okay, so I got real down about that. Started doing heavy drugs. I went from pain pills to Suboxone to Subutex to heroin to fentanyl, methadone, recovery. Okay, so methadone recovery. That's what I'm doing now. Okay, if you can quit cold turkey and stay clean, do it. Methadone is tough and it's hard. Okay, it's really, really hard to get off of. And it is tough to stay on because you constantly want to use. Okay, so remember that. Excuse me. So remember that if you're an addict and you get clean, just remember methadone is harder to get off of than Subutex and Suboxone. Okay, so fast forward to 32, 33. I moved back in with my mom at 28, I believe. And I had been high quite a bit. Nodding out. My nephews had to see me that way. Their mom died that way. Hurt them a lot. That depressed me more. Brought me down. Okay? They're still here for me. I'm still here there for them. I pay bills. I was never an irresponsible addict. I pay my bills. Every beginning of the month, I pay my bills. First thing I do, before I splurge, buy anything, I pay my bills. I cannot stress that enough. Take care of your responsibilities. Got kids especially. Don't let them down, because my sister left my nephews down. And they feel sometimes that I talk bad about her. I was just disappointed and hurt by the loss. It's not that I'm mad at her or I put her down. She was closest to me than any of my other sisters besides one. Or actually two. I got 6 sisters, 1 brother. He passed away, 36. Had a heart attack. My dad died. My uncle died. My grandma died. So, a lot of loss, okay? Now, depression, PTSD, anxiety, they are a revolving circle. So, it's a 3-step process. Let's say anxiety's here on the left side. On the top, you got your PTSD. Down here, you got your depression, okay? Anytime you feel one, you'll feel the other two. So, it always goes in a revolving circle. And in the center is pain. So, pain is what people are usually afraid of whenever they get clean or try to get off drugs. So they're afraid of being sick or dope sick, or there's different terms, but they're afraid of being sick. And when you feel pain, PTSD, anxiety, depression revolves around pain. So you can not necessarily be in pain, but because you feel that PTSD, that anxiety, and that depression, you can feel pain. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to understand, to grasp the ideal of it, but it's all a revolving circle, and in the center's pain. Okay, so I've been going through this. I have trouble walking. My feet are messed up. My neck's messed up. My back, shoulders, down to my hips, my ankles, my feet, my toes. Everything's messing up my knees from being airborne and running 5 miles a day every day and working out and rucksacks, full battle rattle. You know what that is if you're in the military. Full battle rattle is about with ammunition, your weapon, your equipment, your water, your magazines, your rucksack with all your gear in it, your Kevlar, and your Kevlar vest. I would say it's about 120 to 150 pounds. Now, if you got a M240 or an M249 or, those are bigger weapons. So they weigh a lot more, okay? And then you got your little artillery shooter, which adds about 15 pounds to your weapon. And you also have to carry ammunition for that. So yeah, and your medic pack. So, you know, if your buddy gets hurt, you can fix him up. At least until the medic gets there, until they can get him out. So yeah, so you got all that, all right? Now, I was a driver in Iraq, okay? And I had a real bad experience, and this is where my PTSD comes from, okay? So when I was in Iraq, we was doing airborne operations over there. Everybody wanted to get their wings over there because foreign wings is something to be proud of when you're in the Army, okay? Or in the Marines or whatever. Whatever you're in, foreign wings is like the pride and joy of the airborne. So, you know what I mean if you got them. I didn't never get them because they canceled my jump because so many people was getting hurt. And I mean, I'd say 25% of our unit got hurt from 3 jumps, hitting the desert ground. And the one guy I'm going to talk about, his name was Lieutenant Ford. I didn't know his name for a while there, and then one of my battle buddies came up and told me on Facebook, so thank you for that. But yeah, with him, okay, so he hit the ground so hard that his helmet broke in half, came off. He got drugged like 50 feet. Pieces of his head was missing, skin, his hair was gone. When you have a concussion, okay, now let me explain this to you. A concussion, you will piss on yourself, pee on yourself, sorry if that word offends you. When you have a concussion like that, it can cause you to wet yourself, okay? So, with a concussion, you know, and this is when I was in the Army. This is when we had the jump. His helmet broke off. I told you about the injury. He had wet himself, okay? So he got hurt. Here, I'll pause this. All right, so I'm back, guys. I'm sorry about that. Another cop came down and he was Nick. So he's like, you gotta go, man. You just gotta go. Just clean up and go. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll finish up the video in my car and I'll leave. So, well, I'll leave and then finish up my video in the car. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. His helmet split open, head was split, and I had never, ever heard anybody cry the way I heard this man cry, and there was nothing I could do for him. And the medic was taking care of him, you know, and all I could do was drive a truck. And since then, you know, just I've been messed up about it. I know he's okay. So I mean, I seen him afterwards once, I think, and he was healed up and he was normal and everything. He didn't have any like lingering effects, but I mean, I'm sure he's probably got disabilities too, like I do. And back to the documentation. So like with that, you know, you want to document everything, because when you get hurt like that, if you don't document stuff like that, they will try to deny you your disability the best they can if you cannot justify your disability. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, so off of that subject, 33 now, you know, I'm doing a lot better. And, you know, I live with my mom, with nephews. We're going to hopefully get a house here soon. You know, and I got my license back. I'm going to be going to school for trucking, you know, get my trucking license, my CDL license, so I can drive trucks, you know, so I can make more money and, you know, keep myself busy. That's very important when you try to get sober, is keeping yourself busy, because if you're bored all the time and you got so much time on your hands and you got money like I do, it's so easy to fall back into the bad behaviors. Now, relapses, the way they work is, with a relapse, it's not necessarily the drug use, it's the behavior. It's reverting back to your old behavior. So like, I've done a lot of research. I've been to rehab like 5 times, and you know, I know all about all this stuff. So when you do the research and you really get into the psychology of addiction, with it, there's parts of your brain that it will simulate a high. So like, you can have dreams and it simulates a high, and you wake up and you will be sweating and having chills and it'll feel like a withdrawal. And that is one of the main things that make people bounce back to using. Okay, so with that, you got to keep that in mind. So you know, you have to have a good support system, people to talk to. Okay, this video is kind of long, and I apologize about that. But I mean, if you guys made it all the way this far, you might as well finish out. It's gonna be another about 3-4 minutes. So let's finish this up a little bit. You know, with that behavior and stuff, you know, it takes a lot of courage to admit you have a problem. Okay, now the first step to recovery is admitting you have the problem, and then admitting you need help, and then accepting the help. Okay, when you do 12 steps is really good for this, because like it's more for alcoholism, but addiction is an addiction. Alcohol, illegal substances, anything that you are addicted to, coffee, pornography, whatever the case may be. Addiction is addiction, okay, and it stimulates the same part of your brain that drugs do. Okay, it gives you euphoria, it gives you a high, dopamine, I forgot the other stuff, but I'm not going to get into the terminology, okay? I'll get into that another time. If you guys want that, just send a comment and I'll get into it with you guys, whatever. I'll post another video about it, and I'll make sure I do, like, get clear research for you guys. So I'll have paperwork and have it printed out, and I'll read it to you and show you, like, where I got all of it from. And of course, I'm going to put, you know, where I got all my points from. So, you know, like, I had when I was in Washington State, when I got my disability, I had the main doctor in Washington State that went around the whole country talking to everybody about addiction in the VAs, okay? This guy was a real good guy, and I loved him to death, and he broke it down for me to where I could understand. I already understood, but I didn't understand the knowledge-based part of it. I only understood the behavior-based part, the behavior that I had going on, and the things that I was doing wrong. I didn't understand the actual the actual terminology of it. And he educated me, okay? And then I had counselors that educated me, you know, and I'm still in active recovery. So I go down to a clinic, and I got a counselor. She's real nice, real sweet. I'm not going to say her name because that's inappropriate. But yeah, so I still stick with the program, okay? Now, getting off methadone is really tough. So just remember, when you go to get clean, if you can do it without it, do it. But there's nothing wrong with methadone. I don't care what anybody says. If they say you're getting off one substance and getting on another, don't accept that for fact. Because, see, methadone is a blocker, okay? It is not, you don't get high off of it necessarily, unless you're abusing drugs on top of it, okay? It's a blocker. So there's no euphoria. I don't get no euphoria anyways, and I don't get high off of it. And if I try to get high off of drugs, I can't. So that's why I'm on it. It's to prevent me from getting that dopamine and that, you know, that feeling, because that feeling is what draws you into the behavior, and, you know, it's just, you can't get out of it once you're into it. You can. I'm not saying you can't, but it's hard. It takes a lot of hard work. So just remember that. Okay, and never give up on yourself. But I'm going to cut this video out here. If you like my video, like and subscribe, please. I love you guys. I appreciate everything you do for me right now and what you're going to do for me in the future. I'm getting greedy again right now. I'm getting selfish about this. I'm doing this for me because it makes me feel good. Okay? So that's my greediness. I hope it wears off on you, and I hope you feel good helping other people too. But thank you guys. You know, like, subscribe, and comment on my page. I'll set this up. These videos will be on a little bit later. It does take time to upload, and then for YouTube to verify everything and make sure everything's good. There's no copyright content, you know, with it, and that you're not saying anything inappropriate, or, you know, like, you know, stealing anybody else's content, or whatever the case may be. You just remember, you know, just stick with the meditation, do the steps, go through it. If you need to go through what I said all over again, just go ahead, rewind the video. I'm not going to go through it again. But thank you guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night. Well, morning now. Have a good day. Have a good day at work. If you're going to work, have a good day at school. Just be the best you can be. And I love you guys. Bye.